I'm Bill Roberts.
And I'm Lori Roberts.
And I'm Evan Roberts.
I came to Spring Arbor in 1976, and it was the first place that I ever came that I didn't have to spell my last name, because my last name at that point was Ormston, a famous name here. But besides that, I came here because I knew that this was a Christian institution, and I expected to make some good friends. I expected to have some really good experiences with the professors, but I really had no idea how deep and rich those relationships were going to be.
Lori's folks and the family have always been very faithful, and so we wanted to honor them. Both of our boys have Ormston in their name. We just wanted to honor her folks and also our connection to it. I'm very attracted to the mission. I care a lot about Christ and culture. And the fact that Spring Arbor is one of the institutions that has been able to stand firm in their commitment and faithfulness to Jesus Christ in the midst of all the challenges that are associated with it, and that they have a board that is behind them and is committed in those ways, and the leadership of the institution that helps then to protect the professors and faculty and students here, so they are able to be challenged at a high level, but also to do that within a Christian environment. I'm an engineer by training. There were very few, if any, Christian schools with engineering programs, back in the
Dark Ages.
Dark Ages, when I went to school. I also went to seminary, so that's where a lot of the realization for what it means to stand for Christ in culture, as culture changes, as Christians become counterculture. You have to be very careful about where you put resources, because they can they may end up not doing what you want them to do, and it may end up in the hands of people that don't hold your same convictions. And so we felt safe here, and that's what attracted me.
Evan, our little baby here, he was looking for a school, and so he wanted to visit Spring Arbor. I was thrilled with that, and he loved it, so he ended up here. I was delighted to see that the concept was still front and center, and even the aspect of liberal arts, that is not too popular right now, but Spring Arbor has very successfully maintained their commitment to liberal arts, even though they're offering these specific programs. It's fantastic, and it just makes such a well-rounded person, well-rounded student. I love that part of Spring Arbor.
When I was going to Spring Arbor, I made some fantastic friends and acquaintances throughout all my years here. But one problem that I consistently saw was every year past freshman year, these friends would be unable to keep up the payments. So when my parents talked to me about the possibility of creating some kind of scholarship or filling a need at Spring Arbor, that was the first that came to mind, something that would help students be able to return and be able to finish their time at Spring Arbor, students who wanted to, but otherwise were unable to.
The mission of Spring Arbor is only going to grow, I would think, and other Christian institutions of like kind, but it's going to depend entirely on the commitment of the board and the administration as to whether in 50 years they're going to be able to keep that mission. And some of that is funding, quite frankly. And as the Lord has gifted us and others, I think that becomes the question. The question becomes, as Lori said, what are we going to do with God's money, as opposed to what are we going to do with our money?
I'd like to add on the record that when my parents came into the means for this scholarship, I was I felt so incredibly blessed to have them as parents when, well, yeah, when the first thing that they thought of was trying to figure out, how do we give this back? Because you were blessed and your immediate thought was, how do we spread this blessing? How do we return this? And that's not something that everybody would think of. So I just want to say I'm proud of them.